Okay, the tape is rolling.
Pamela.
Excuse me, ma'am?
She said Pamela. Maybe she prefers not being called Mrs. Voorhees.
Mrs. Voorhees, I'm Police Chief Tom Kelly. Detective Madry and I want to ask you a few questions, if that's all right.
Pamela, we're very sorry about the loss of your son. And we appreciate you.
His name was Jason.
Yes, ma'am. Jason. I understand he was 12 years old and he was not capable of normal. The report says his mind was...
There is nothing wrong with my son. Jason is a wonderful boy. He just needs to be watched over. I always have done that. I've always protected him. Always. My Jason is very special.
Yes, ma'am, I'm sure he was. I understand you are the cook at Camp Crystal Lake and...
I was promised that these counselors were responsible. That's why I took the job. These Christian teenagers would help look after my son while I worked. That's why I took this job. I was lied to.
Mrs. Voorhees, I'm sure these kids were just...
Fucking. That's what they were doing. That's what all of them were doing.
No, ma'am. The counselors were...
Were you there? No, you were not.
Mrs. Voorhees, please.
I was there, doing my job, washing the dishes of these selfish, irresponsible...
Ma'am, you need to...
You don't understand. I heard him. I heard my Jason calling for me from the lake. He was calling for his mother. Mommy, help, Mommy. Help me, Mommy.
Ma'am?
But it couldn't have been him, I kept thinking. It had to be just me imagining, you know? When you hear a voice sometimes in your head.
Captain, I'm going to get Mrs. Voorhees some water. Why don't we take a few minutes to...
So I didn't go to my baby, because I thought he was safe. I thought he was sleeping cozy in our cabin. But none of them were doing what they promised me. Jason was left all alone. They were not protecting him. They didn't care. Having sex was more important.
Mrs. Voorhees, we are going to stop now. We're going to get you some water and...
He couldn't swim. Did you know that? I tried to teach him, but he was terrified of the water.
I'm going to send Deputy Kroger to the diner. What would you like to eat? Captain, could you shut off the tape recorder, please?
Why would he go out there in that tiny little boat? He was trying to be brave. He wanted Mommy to know he was a brave boy. He was 10 years old yesterday. Did you know that? Did any of you know it was his birthday?
Okay, Mrs. Voorhees. That's all we need for the moment.
Has anyone found him yet? My Jason? Oh, God, my baby must be so cold.
Okay. First off, may I call you by your first name?
No.
That's fine, Mrs. Voorhees.
Do you have children?
Unfortunately not, but my wife and I are trying.
Do you want a boy or a girl?
I'd be happy with either.
Have you picked a name?
Actually, we talk about it a lot. If it's a girl, we like Rachel, and Thomas if it's a boy.
Rachel and Tommy.
Yes.
I was going to call my son Joshua, but when I saw him, when they took him from inside me and put him in my arms, I knew his name was Jason.
He must have been a wonderful boy.
He is. Jason is a wonderful boy. I want you all to know something. You're going to be punished for what you have done. My child is laying at the bottom of that lake. He's all alone, freezing. And you do nothing. God damn you! I hope you all burn in hell!
Mrs. Voorhees, what are you doing? Stop that!
Leave me alone. Get out of here!
Mrs. Voorhees, please, give me the microphone.
Give me my boy back! You fucking...
Police Chief Kelly! Kelly!
Okay, ma'am, let's simmer down.
No, I'll kill you. I'll fucking kill all of you.
Thank you for meeting with me, Tommy.
I put Jason back at the bottom of Crystal Lake, where he belongs.
They've had divers out there all morning. Tommy, they haven't found anyone yet.
That's impossible! Who's saying that? Rigo? That lying bastard!
Maybe you put someone in that lake. Someone who was killing innocent people. But it was not Jason Voorhees. Do you understand me?
They've gotten to you too. Oh God, they've gotten to you too.
Nobody has gotten to anybody. But Tommy, the police are convinced that psychos keep coming here to masquerade as Jason because you keep perpetuating the story.
Alan knew where Jason was buried. He brought me there. I dug him up, and his body was right there in the grave. He was never cremated, Lauren. But he came back to life. He killed Alan and all of those people. And it's all my fault.
Yes, Tommy, it is your fault that you attract these maniacs. All this town wants is to bury the Voorhees story, but you, everywhere you go, you keep it alive, and that's why this happens.
There are witnesses. An entire camp full of witnesses saw
Someone dressed in a hockey mask. Once again. Don't you see the pattern here, Tommy?
I watched Jason crawl out of his grave.
No, you didn't, because that's not possible. Tommy, I'm sorry. I can't help you anymore.
My God. They're gonna kill me, aren't they?
What? Who's they? Who's going to kill you, Tommy?
You. You sold me out to them, didn't you? You told me you were my friend. The night I met you, you said you'd protect me. Now they're gonna kill me because I know the truth.
Tommy, stop. Put down that lamp.
How could you do this to me? I'm the one who finally killed Jason, me! But they're all so desperate to cover it up that now you've signed my death warrant!
You're out of control, Tommy. Put down that lamp and...
Oh, God. I'm sorry, Lauren. I didn't want to hurt you, but... They're coming to get me.